Today I'll be covering 7 easy part-time jobs you can do from home, jobs that don't require a formal education, are in high demand, and have growing opportunities. If you take some of these seriously, you can even grow them into something full-time or a business that makes a lot of money. So if you like money, turn that like button blue because that's what this video is all about. I'll be going through these jobs pretty quickly, so stick around. I think you'll like what I have for you. The first part-time job you should consider is being a social media marketer. This is one of my favorites because it allows for a ton of creativity and at the same time, it's surprisingly easy to find work. Almost every business in the world is starting to take social media more seriously and knows that social media is an important part to building a brand and converting new customers. Because each social media platform is quite a bit different, I know several people who simply focus on learning one or two of them. Facebook and Instagram really being the most common. This is a really great job because you don't need a formal education to get started, and if you're already using these platforms a lot for personal use, it may be easy for you to move into doing it for work. To give you an idea of specific tasks associated with this job, you're likely to be asked to help with branding, coming up with a posting schedule, and responding to customers or followers. You can also expect to know how to run and optimize ads on the platform. This is an especially important skill because most people want someone who can help them monetize their products or services on the social media platforms. There are plenty of places online where you can find part-time contracts for this, one of the most popular being Upwork.com. But I don't want you to only focus on finding jobs there. There are a ton of other online freelance websites where people are posting jobs for this exact skill every day. I also want you to consider trying to build new relationships and contracts with local businesses. This is actually one of the easiest ways to build this type of business. We now spend so much of our time on the computer, people have forgotten how powerful the human connection is in this process. I even personally know people who have built an entire business on part-time contracts with local business owners by first networking with friends and family. Now for the next part-time job, more and more businesses are wanting to add video to their websites, courses, and marketing materials, which means there's a lot of opportunity to find a part-time job as a video editor. This part-time job is an easy one to get into, and just like the other mentioned, allows for a lot of creativity. Video editing is extremely intimidating for most people and requires an expertise in very specific software. Because of the effort and expense that goes into taking raw video, businesses are often willing to pay a premium for expert video editing skills. You don't have to break the bank to get started either. There's professional editing software that is free to use and really can perform most of the tasks you're looking for. Specifically, I'm talking about DaVinci Resolve's free software version. This is the software I personally use to edit my videos, and it's incredibly powerful. There is, of course, other popular software out there like Adobe Premiere Pro. While Premiere Pro still seems to be the most commonly used by professionals, I know a lot of video editors that have made the switch to DaVinci Resolve. There are a lot of other people using Apple's Final Cut Pro as well, so you have a few options to choose from. The other great thing about this part-time job is there are a ton of tutorial videos on YouTube. You can essentially learn how to do any professional task on the video editing software of your choice for free. The next part-time job you should consider is being a YouTube channel manager. Being a YouTube influencer is the #1 most desired job by teens, so this should give you an indication to how much work is available. This is a growing industry and something that will become increasingly important for influencers to maintain a competitive YouTube channel. There's now big money to be made from YouTube, and the scene has been growing very quickly. This is another part-time job I love, obviously because I'm a creator myself and I love making videos. Some of the things this job includes will be niche research, like figuring out which video topics tend to perform well and what other influencers in the space are talking about. You'll also need to stay up to date on news that's relevant to the channel so you can suggest video ideas on industry trends. You'll likely be in charge of making thumbnails or outsourcing them to a graphic designer. This is a critical part of the creative process and can take some brainstorming. Now, coming up with good titles for the videos that will actually get someone to click through and watch is also a critical part to this job. You'll likely need to write a description for each video that covers important keywords, making it easier for the videos to be found in YouTube search. You'll also have to maintain offers and affiliate links in these descriptions for the channel owner to maintain other streams of revenue from their YouTube traffic. Writing scripts or outlines is another important part to managing a YouTube channel, but if you're not the best writer, this task is often outsourced. You may actually need to manage several writers depending on how often the channel is posting videos. Another important aspect of this part-time job is to organize collaborations with other YouTubers YouTubers. This is by far one of the best ways to grow a channel on YouTube, so if you can help your employer connect and collaborate with other YouTubers, you'll be worth your weight in gold as an employee. Now, moving on to the next part-time job, this one is about becoming a web designer. I'm certain that there will be an evolving market for creative jobs. As building websites moves more towards drag and drop builders with plugins, you're going to see web development be more about design and user experience. Almost every company will eventually rely on having a quality website as a virtual storefront to convert visitors into buyers. As a result, web design will be in demand for a long time. There are a lot of elements that go into being a good web developer. You'll first need to learn the most common content management system called WordPress and be familiar with several of its plugin applications. You're also likely going to want to learn a photo editing software like Photoshop or Affinity Photo. Just from these, you're likely to be able to create most websites needed by the majority of businesses. I think you'll find that having these skills will open a huge number of opportunities, both for employment and also for starting your own businesses. The next part-time job that's easy to get into is teaching English online. I mention this one every so often in my videos because I know just how easy it is. When I lived down in Mexico, one of my roommates did this and he was making $18 to $20 an hour. I saw him go through the whole process of applying for the job, the lessons he was teaching, and I don't think it could be easier. This job essentially doesn't require any skills at all. As long as English is your first language and you can smile and pretend to be excited, you can do this job. Most of these companies will already have the lesson plans and software, so your primary role is to provide human interaction and guide kids through the course. This is also a great job for people who already have a full-time job living in the US because most of the kids live in China, meaning you'll be able to teach lessons in the evening because of the time zone differences. Some of the companies you can look into are Wales English, Magic Ears, GoGo Kids, and Panda ABC. But there are a ton of these companies out there, so you can just research which ones are paying the best at the time you sign up. You can also consider working for more than one to see which one you like better or ends up paying you better in the end. Another part-time job you can consider is becoming a professional blogger. I know it almost seems cliche to mention this, but I actually think it's become even easier to make money as a blogger than it used to be. The professional landscape for writing online has really evolved over the past few years. This job is one of the lowest barriers of entry, offers incredible flexibility, and honestly can make you a comfortable living. Most people think they need to actually start and manage their own website to be a blogger, but that's not true at all. There are a ton of blogging websites out there that will simply pay you for your articles or will do profit share with contributors. An example of this is Medium.com. I know someone who writes articles for Medium.com and makes about $200 per post she puts up. If the article only takes you 4 to 5 hours to write, that's between $40 to $50 an hour. There are other large companies that are always looking for writers as well. Some of these include Bustle and Vox Media, who have a large library of websites and always need new content. Honestly, it's so easy to make good money as a writer now, you don't even have to look all that hard. The next part-time job you should consider is being a virtual assistant. Virtual assistants do tasks like managing emails, following up with clients or customers, doing product research, managing client accounts, getting appointments, or even doing something as simple as data entry. Since being a virtual assistant really covers a variety of tasks, you can kind of shop around until you find a job doing tasks that you like. There are specific websites that specialize in employing and outsourcing virtual assistants. You can use these, but you can also consider using freelancer websites like Upwork as well. Honestly, these jobs are super prevalent, so finding work as a virtual assistant isn't that hard either. The world has really opened to work from home jobs over the last year, and I think it's a trend that's likely to stay. Work from home jobs used to not be paid all that well or difficult to find, but because of the changes that are happening in the world, I think they are going to be viewed similarly to those found in the professional work environment. This is good news for those who want to avoid a long commute or want to have more flexibility with travel. Because of this shift away from a centralized office, I think we can expect a lot of jobs to turn into part-time or per diem work. As a result, the only limitation will be what skills you've learned that can be performed remotely. But I want everyone to keep in mind, artificial intelligence will start progressing faster than what people currently comprehend, and certain industries will quickly become automated. That's why I mentioned many of the jobs that I did. I believe many of the jobs that will persist the longest through the age of AI automation will be those in the creative and influencer space. Almost everyone needs to be open to the idea of having to retrain in a new set of skills because this will start to be the new norm, not the exception over the next few decades. I want you to be confident that you can do any of the part-time jobs I mentioned in this video and to train yourself to be flexible with what work you can learn and perform quickly. And it's important to start doing it now out of personal ambition than future necessity. Even if you're living comfortably now, I challenge you to learn a new marketable skill that can be done remotely and start taking on new part-time gigs here and there. And I'd say I'm a good example of how you can change careers and train in a completely different skill set over the course of your lifetime and still be successful. Don't shy away from learning how to do anything you want to accomplish. If you found some original value to this video, smash that like button. Also, if you haven't yet, become an OG and join the family by clicking that subscribe button. And you guys have a good day.